And with all the Origin teams that I ever coached for New South Wales, I gave them the same message every time they left the dressing room just before kickoff. Trust yourself. Trust your teammates. Believe in yourself. Believe in your teammates. When you see it, do it. And when you do it 100 mile an hour. No fear, no hesitation. These two teams have been in camp together for a week now. They've made promises. They're going to be with each other every step of the way. When these teams take the field tonight, they really will be brothers in arms. Thank you, Andrew. I'm out here on the ground at Telstra Stadium, right on the big blue emblem, hoping for a Blues night. A lot of tension in the air here tonight, and I can tell you why. In every three-match State of Origin series, each game has its own personality. Game one, the build-up could be as long as 3 months. You're reminded of the history of State of Origin. You're reminded about the great rivalry between New South Wales and Queensland. You're also motivated by the fact that game one is so important. Of the 23 Origin series that have been decided, the winner of game one has gone on to carry the shield 18 times. Now game two, well, you take all the emotion and all the intensity and all the drama of game one and you sprinkle on top of it some desperation, and that's what the personality of game two is. Game two, the motivation is what's happened in game one. In game two tonight, the desperation will be provided by New South Wales. If they lose, their series is over. That desperation can be good for you. It can keep you sharp. It can keep you focused. It can make you get up when you're hurt. It can keep you going when you're tired. New South Wales are going to need all that tonight. But desperation can also work against you. If Queensland get to the front at any stage of this game, and I mean any stage, then desperation can turn to panic. And that'll be bad for New South Wales. That's where they've got to be mentally tough. That's where they've got to stay focused. They can't worry about what's happened. They can't worry about what might happen. They've got to stay in the moment. They'll be ready for that. They'll be ready for it. This is not Lang Park. This is Telstra Stadium. This is home of the Blues. They've never been beaten here. They're not about to get beaten here tonight. All you people at home in the lounge rooms, we're going to take you so close to the emotion and the drama, you're going to feel like you're in the game. Thank you, Peter, standing here on the lucky Blues sign again. It worked for us in Origin too. I hope it's lucky again tonight. This is a magnificent atmosphere and a sensational stadium. If you heard players say it's the best football stadium in the world, I'm going to give you a player's eye view of Suncorp Stadium. You're out here in the middle, just have a look up into those magnificent grandstands. Look at all the fans, the colour, the lights. When these players take the field tonight, all those seats will be filled. Imagine being a fullback or a winger, looking up into those stands and the lights as a bomb comes towards you, and you've got to catch it to save the game. That's what makes these players so great. The scoreboard and the clock, they know the score and how long there is to go the whole time the game's being played. The noise here is physical. A lot of people have saved up a lot of money to be here tonight for the first time, and they're really going to enjoy their State of Origin experience. And as I always say to you people at home, you've got the best seat in the house. A State of Origin decider. What's at stake here? Well, a slice of history, and history will be recorded on this Harvey Norman State of Origin shield. You know, at the end of the game, the winning captain will lift this and he'll head off on a victory lap with his teammates around Suncorp Stadium. They'll be recognised as the 2005 State of Origin winners. And tomorrow, this shield will go off to the engravers. On one of those little silver plaques, they'll record who won. What they won't record is who was lucky or who was unlucky. They won't record if the referee made a mistake. They won't record if you had injuries. They won't even record if you didn't have any football to win the game. You know why? Because no one cares. It's a State of Origin decider. It's all or nothing. So when you play in a decider, you've got to be prepared to win without the luck. You've got to be prepared to win without the referee. You've got to be able to overcome injury, overcome adversity. And you've got to be able to play without the ball. That's where heart and courage comes in. In a decider, there's no second prize. Now, they say you've got to be a little bit crazy to play rugby league. You've certainly got to be crazy to be good at it. Well, to the tune of Pink Floyd's Shine on Crazy Diamonds, let's have a look at our stars taking part in tonight's game. Back after the break with Ray Warren. Enjoy your Origin football. I'll tell you what, Peter, the crowd down here is starting to find its voice. 5 young players make their debut for New South Wales tonight. And in the lead up to the game, they've received a lot of encouragement, a lot of support. You know, the team has tried to shield them away from the media and the hype, but when they run out here tonight, there's no shielding anyone. There's nowhere to hide in Origin. It's a man's game. They've been picked to do a man's job, and they've got to stand up. I think they're up to the challenge. We know that this game will be decided at the back end. We know that Queensland will be there. It's whether or not the young New South Wales players will believe in themselves at that stage of the game. I got no doubt this will go down to the wire. This is the greatest challenge any footballer can face, particularly here in Brisbane at Suncorp Stadium. And I know what you're saying. When you get out there, it's just another game of football. It's just another ground. Well, let me tell you it's not. And I'll give you the perfect demonstration. Come and meet my friends, the Queenslanders, over here. Have a look at this. Have a look at this. Have a look at that. Queensland, beautiful one day, state of origin the next. Thank you, Peter. I want to talk about Queensland. 11 attempts at Telstra Stadium, 0 wins. They say they can break the hoodoo tonight, but the first rule of breaking a hoodoo is don't talk about the hoodoo. I think it's eating away at their brains. They just don't like playing here. They don't like the bus ride here in peak hour traffic. It can take up to an hour. They don't like the dressing rooms. It doesn't feel like home. They don't like sitting amongst the New South Wales fans before the game. They don't like the cold. It's going to get down to about 3 degrees here tonight. Not even the beer in Queensland is that cold. And the surface, it's wet, it's moist. They can't get this back line into operation the way they would like. Now, New South Wales needs to play on the slippery conditions here tonight. Their kicking game is very, very important. Very disappointing in game one with the kicking game. I couldn't count the number of times that we kicked downfield and Queensland caught the ball on the full. Carmichael Hunt, Brett Tate, Greg Inglis were just charging the ball back at New South Wales, getting the Queensland fans all excited. Now, New South Wales tonight, Brett Kamali, he's got to kick along the ground, get it down into the corners, so the Blues chasers can get these Blues fans up on their feet and cheering for them. And this is the biggest weapon that New South Wales has here tonight. It's the fans. It's playing at home in front of your own colours. I know how much they love it. I know how much it means to them. And you people sitting at home, I know you've got a great seat, but once in your life, come to Telstra Stadium under the lights and experience Origin football at its absolute best. And when you come along, just wait a minute. When you come along, dress in blue, because otherwise you won't fit in with the locals. There they are, the New South Wales fans. State of Origin, best versus the best. It's game on, baby. Thank you, Peter. I can tell you, I've never quite known an Origin atmosphere like this here at Suncorp Stadium tonight. Normally this close to kick-off, everyone is nervous and tense and worried about the result. This is an absolute party. It's a celebration. Now, fair enough, Queensland have got the series wrapped up, but these people really expect them to win again tonight and just have the party flow on into the streets of Brisbane. If that attitude permeates through the Queensland team, they might be in a little bit of trouble. They went into those first 2 games with a great game plan and plenty of emotion. If they take that out of their repertoire tonight, they really bring the Blues into the game. But I understand how they feel here. It's a great time for Queensland Rugby League, and whatever happens here this evening, no matter who wins, Queensland are the 2007 State of Origin champions. I think we have to acknowledge that. I'll acknowledge that with their fans. Here we go, there we are, Queenslanders. There you go, up you go. Beautiful. I'll even do a little bow. So very, very good. So happy for you, you wonderful people. Fair dinkum, aren't they cocky? You can't believe it. I love it. You're going good, terrific. They're cocky as all hell, I can tell you. We're coming back after the break, and I hope the Blues spank their tail. Fair dinkum. Now listen, I'm really happy for you. Really. Thank you, Peter. Well, I can tell you it's enjoyable down here, but the heavens have opened up again, making this field even heavier. And you would think in these conditions, points are going to be hard to come by. With the class and talent of these players, they can conjure up tries from anywhere. Anything can happen. Having said that, there's no doubt the battle is going to be waged in the middle, in the trenches. It'll be physical, it'll be brutal, the collisions will be violent. These Origin players now have to push themselves beyond the barriers of fatigue and pain. We'll watch, we'll cringe at the cruelty, but it's compelling viewing. You won't be able to look away. For New South Wales, they've now lost 4 years in a row. They can retreat no more. They must advance on their enemy. They must go after them and do whatever it takes. For Queensland, well, judging by Game 3 last year, they never take a backward step. Given that situation, given the weather here tonight, and given the animosity out of last year's final game, anything could happen here this evening. In fact, I think this game will only play out one way. It's a simple law of the jungle. Only the strongest will survive. Thank you, Peter. My last word tonight is pretty simple. In a couple of minutes, the New South Wales team will come out of the dressing room, along the tunnel and out onto Suncorp Stadium, supposedly to a game they cannot win. Written off, cast aside, the experts give them no chance. And I don't know about you, but that's not the Origin that I know. That's not the Origin we've been watching for the last 30 years. Origin history tells us that when you write one side off, when you think the other team's got all the answers, the tide can turn very, very quickly. I can tell you, there's no greater motivation for a footballer or a football team to have people say, you can't win. There's not a footballer on this earth that wouldn't want to be in a blue jersey tonight to prove that wrong. You Queensland fans, get your hands off the trophy. This ain't over yet. In fact, it's just about to start. Thank you, Peter. There's no getting away from the fact that New South Wales have been disappointing. For 5 years now, they have failed on their assignment. The players they've picked tonight are quite capable. We know they can do better, but they've got to come together as a team, play their absolute best if they're to match this Queensland outfit. For the Maroons, well, they should make no apology for their domination. A famous Olympic athlete once said, "You are what you think, you are what you go for, you are what you do." And that is so true of Queensland. They have been relentless in their pursuit of excellence. They have been ruthless as they strive for success. They have been passionate about their time in Origin and now their place in history. There is only one word left to describe them: champions. If you want to know what New South Wales is up against tonight, if you want a reminder of their greatness, let's go back to Game 2 only 3 weeks ago. Watch this amazing vision. And as you do, think of those 3 words: relentless, ruthless, passionate. Everything an Origin football team should be. Thank you, Peter. 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. 5 years in a row, Queensland have stamped their name on the State of Origin shield. That's a period of unprecedented success. Where will it end? Well, if you think Queensland are going to get sick of winning, if you think they'll ever get complacent, then you don't understand Queensland Origin mentality. The players who play tonight will play with the same passion and for the same reasons as anyone who's ever worn a maroon jersey. They'll be very hard to beat. New South Wales, new coach, new team, new era. From what we understand, they've gone back to some old-fashioned Origin preparation to get them ready for tonight. Whatever they've done before this evening, it won't matter. It's what they do in the next 80 minutes that will count. Where will this game be won? Famous American football coach Vince Lombardi once said, "Battles are won in the hearts of men." And he's right. That's what this is. It's a test of heart. It's a test of courage. It's what you will sacrifice. It's what you're prepared to endure for you, your family, your teammates, and most importantly, your state. This is Queensland versus New South Wales. Welcome to Origin football. Thank you, Peter. I want to talk about strength of purpose. I want to talk about self-belief. Over the last 5 years, every time a result has gone down to the wire, every time the game is in the balance, Queensland have found a way to win. New South Wales have led the last 2 Origin games with 7 minutes left to play. But then again, Queensland came out victorious. The way Queensland play, you can just see they expect good things to happen. They expect to be victorious. And they are. New South Wales, well, I wouldn't say they expect to lose, but at times they've seemed overwhelmed by this Queensland confidence. New South Wales has the talent to win. You don't lead Origin matches after 73 minutes if you haven't got the talent to win. But have they got the mentality? When it counts, have they got the self-belief? It's easy to question your players. What about you New South Wales fans? If I ask you honestly the question, will New South Wales win tonight? See right there, one negative thought, one little hesitation in saying yes, that's all it takes. You get negative out here, you lose. You hesitate out here, you lose. Your opponent's greatest asset is the lack of belief you have in yourself. You have to believe. New South Wales has to believe. They have to. Tonight's the night. Thank you, Peter. Well, the stars have certainly lined for a wonderful sporting event here tonight. The 2011 Origin Series has come down to a decider. It will be played at the spiritual home of Origin here in Brisbane. Queensland chasing a record 6 series wins in a row. And one of the greatest players of all time, their captain Darren Lockyer, gets to play his final match in maroon colours here on home turf. Can it possibly get any bigger than that? Well, let me tell you it can. Because on the other side of the border for New South Wales, this is their biggest match in Origin history. When Origin first began back in 1980, it was all about Queensland, their battle for recognition, their fight for credibility. New South Wales has never had their reputation questioned in that manner, until now. 5 series losses in a row, they must win tonight. They can't wait another year. This will be a fierce battle. It will go right down to the end. Players will battle fatigue and pressure. At the end of the day, it's the toughest that will survive. This place will take them physically and mentally to places they've never been before. The first athlete in the world to ever break the 4-minute mile, Roger Bannister once said, "The man who can force himself to go further when the battle to compete has become painful, that's the man that wins." Enjoy your decider football. Let's talk about motivation. Motivation is the reason why we do the things we do. It's the motivation that affects the nature of our behaviour, the strength of that behaviour and the persistence of our behaviour. It's the strength of your motivation that will sustain these players through the tough periods of Origin football. Queensland have got it. They've always got it. They know why they play. But every time New South Wales changes its team, they've got to search for it again. People ask me when this Queensland dominance will end. I can't answer that question. Only the players that take the field can make that statement. But what I do know is until New South Wales finds 17 players that say enough is enough, until New South Wales finds 17 players that will stand shoulder to shoulder and fight to the death in a common cause, then and only then are they a chance of beating this champion Queensland team. Do they have those 17 men here tonight? We're about to find out. Enjoy your Origin football. Thank you, Peter. We can look at the world the way we'd like it to be, or we can look at the world the way it is. And the reality of this situation is if New South Wales lose this game tonight, Queensland are handed their 7th straight State of Origin series win. Now, the current day players cannot be held accountable for what's happened over the previous 6 years, but they will understand the repercussions of a loss tonight. That will create pressure. They can't be intimidated by it. They've got to be inspired by the challenge. They can't allow the urgency of the situation to deteriorate into panic. They need to use their desperation as a weapon. As we get down to the dying moments of this game and the result comes into focus, there is only one way to deal with the pressure. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust your teammates. You have to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your teammates. If you see it, don't second guess yourself. Do it, and do it 100 mile an hour. No fear, no hesitation. My last word, Peter, is that in this arena, in front of this crowd, tonight, the Blues, without fear or hesitation, will do themselves proud. Enjoy your Origin football. Thank you, Peter. The atmosphere of Origin games played here in Brisbane are quite different to anywhere else Origin has played throughout this country. And tonight, I think even more so. I would like to dedicate this final last word to the memory of the great Arthur Beetson. Arthur's contribution to this phenomenon called State of Origin should never be forgotten. Back in 1980, when they played that first game, many thought it would be a gimmick. They said it wouldn't work. They said it certainly wouldn't last. But when Arthur Beetson ran out onto Lang Park in a maroon jersey to captain his state for the first time, you just knew something special was going to happen. History shows us that Beetson inspired a band of young Queenslanders to defeat their more illustrious New South Wales rivals. And on that night, the spirit of Origin was born. Here we are over 3 decades later, and we still celebrate this tremendous rivalry. Arthur Beetson was a great man. He was one we all loved. I have to say that his contribution here is one that we owe a great debt of gratitude to the player, to the character and the man that was Arthur Beetson. Arthur passed away in the off-season. This is the first Origin played in Queensland since that time. And I have to say, as I stand down in the middle of this stadium, I can feel his presence here tonight. You know he'll be watching, and I know he'll be proud of the concept that he helped create. Let's enjoy it with him. Enjoy your Origin football. Thank you, Cameron. We're often told that if we ignore history, we are doomed to repeat it. And certainly if we look at the history of the past 7 years, it would suggest if these two teams play to their best tonight, then Queensland, in all likelihood, will prevail. They are the proven ones. They are indeed a champion team. But that's the beauty of sport. This result is not yet carved in stone. The New South Wales Blues will have their say. When the Blues players are handed their jersey tonight, they're not just given something to wear. They are also given a slice of history. They've given an opportunity to create their own history. They're given an invitation to be extraordinary. To beat Queensland tonight, they will need inspiration. And the best place to get that inspiration is from each other, out here on the field in battle. Inspire each other with your effort. Inspire each other with your courage. Inspire each other with your will to win. So there it is for New South Wales tonight. Their destiny is not so much in their own hands, but their destiny could well be decided by what's in their own hearts. Enjoy your Origin football. Thank you, James. I want to talk about bravery. In these final moments in the dressing room, these players are at their most nervous. Now, especially for the rookie players, they may have watched Origin on TV, but it's about to hit them in the face. And there's no doubt that they'll start to have insecurities. Do I deserve to be here? What will it really be like? Will I be good enough? It's fear of the unknown that starts to grab them. For the players that have been here before, it's fear of the known. They've already experienced what Origin mentality and physicality is like. They know they need to get back to this level every time and steel themselves. And that's not easy when you know how much it's going to hurt. There was a passage I read in the Game of Thrones many years ago, a conversation between a father and his son. The son asked the question, is it possible for a man to still be considered brave when on the inside he's truly afraid? To which his father replied, when you're truly afraid, that's the only time a man can be brave. And that's what you'll see tonight. Nerves, insecurity, fear, it will give way to courage and bravery. It'll give way to the commitment you have to your teammates and your state. It'll give way to the commitment you have to do whatever's necessary to win. Why? Because that's what Origin players do. And above all else, these boys want to be Origin players. Let's cheer on these brave souls and let's hope they can be Origin players tonight. Enjoy your football.
This year, NRL on 9 is your one-stop shop for all footy.
That's right, Freddie. Not about the highlights, action, 7 days a week.
Billy and Gus podcast, get that on your drive on the way home. Immortal Behaviour, grab a seat on the couch for that. And of course, my favourite, Freddie in the 8.
The best footy brains, the biggest games.
Don't trust the algorithm, subscribe to NRL on 9 and get all your entertainment there.